All right. You see the time. You see what's here. You see the list. We already know what it is. Um, First thing first, I have popcorn. So if you hear this, it's the popcorn. A tad mid, but it's all right. All right. Why am I back here today? Um, we are back here today because we have pulled LR Gohan. Which, by the way, I've rainbowed the Gohan and Krillin LR unit 2 on this banner. I pulled like four, or I already had like two copies of them, or like I had one like 69%. But I think I pulled like five copies of them on this banner, which is nuts, and I didn't get one metal cooler. Which, at 55%, I'm sure he wasn't a fucking monster, but you know, I won't say I'm a collectionist, but I like to have at least one of every unit. And having metal cooler, 200% looking bloodline lead is not bad. But I don't want to. This video really about Gohan, but this video about Gohan and Carnival Goku. But to reference back to why I think Cooler is so good, he can fill that metal cooler spot. So let me pull up Gohan. There's a few things I want to point out when I say this. So I think Gohan is a S plus unit. I don't think he's better than Goku. I think these two are easily a better unit to Cooler, but I think I just value Cooler's team a lot, and that also like when we I think the main things I look when I grade a 55% unit is how good is the unit, how valuable is the unit, and am I getting my bang? Like I want to say, okay, Cooler, right? I'm gonna just make this quick point while we pull while I can say this Cooler. Cooler, as I said already, he leads these two teams who are nice. He has a good kit. He's still runnable to this day. He has a good link set, legendary power, fierce battle, thirst for conquest, big bad bosses. He can link with many villain units because of those simple links. And he has a solid kit that's straight to the point, and also he has a really good active skill, right? So Cooler or Vegeta and Trunks are ideal 55% units because you can run them as a team. They're a really good unit, and you get a lot out of them at 55%. I feel like a unit who, like, somebody like Fusion's Masu, you kind of want to have dupes so that he can get more additionals out, right? Like that's what you want out of him, or who's somebody on this list? Like, like these two, right? If you get dupes for them, they do a lot better because then you could transform earlier. So units like them, they feed off of that. Where somebody like him, or really these three, I mean everybody on this list, but really these like three, they don't need dupes at all. So, but because of that, I think that's the reason why I have Cooler so high. And Gohan is S plus because he's probably, I'm gonna throw it out there, like maybe like a top 15, top 10 unit in the game. He's really good, but here are my issues with Gohan. Right? Basically, well, the first part about Gohan is that you really just want to run him next to. Hold on, let me create a separate link. You really want to just run him next to this guy, right? Like they share five links with each other. This is Gohan's, basically best linking partner, and they have the important links, right? All in the family, and that's really about it. They have all in the family and all these other attack links, but that's really all you need is all in the family. That 20% defense is really good, and on top of that, you get his where is that? You get his unit super attack when you have it a Goku or a Piccolo. I don't have World Tournament Piccolo, so I feel like if I had him, my thoughts on Gohan would change because another problem I feel like about Gohan is that his teams suck. Or not that they suck, but okay, youth, like really, like what are we doing on youth, right? Like this is I mean, maybe now, but there's no team synergy and yada yada yada. Like your options on youth aren't really the greatest. Like that's not really a team that you're running. And Kamehameha, that's good. Goku Slim, that's good. Oh, who the fuck? Oh, fuck, I'm looking at the wrong nigga. Goku Family, that's good. Hybrid Saiyans is in a that's fucking that was crazy to look at. Hybrid Saiyans is in a spot where I think they need like this. He leads the team, but you're not using him as a hybrids lead, or maybe I wouldn't. This guy's and maybe I think you get a new leader, even though this guy should have stayed the leader, but maybe you get like a new leader and you throw some pieces around, or maybe this guy easy A's because he has a really decent kit, like whatever, right? Giant 8 power, he's not really even linking with none of these units because these are all like Super Saiyan 4 GT units, so he doesn't even fit on that category. Bond a parent and child, I don't think it's terrible because you can run these two as a rotation, but the problem is with Bond a parent and child, Vegeta and Trunks want to sit in slot one. So if you run two Vegeta and Trunkses, you're basically, in my opinion, you're building a team around them two. Just you have them because they only guard for the first 5 turns, like throughout the entire rotation, and then they need to send slot one and guard, which is not a fucking bad thing. But it's like you can't really run these two as a rotation because to me you're building the team around them, and you can run Vegeta and Trunks and Gohan. But I think all they got is what Fierce Battle, Legendary Power. I think we want to say Saiyan Warrior Race, which is just attack link. So like, who really cares? So, and I think if fucking Bond, a parent, and child got a leader, like a leader who, like these niggas are good. So I'm not complaining about it, but you build the team around them. I feel like if you run this team, almost. Maybe I'm wrong, and I don't know. Maybe I'll experiment outside of them. Maybe I'll let them be a floater or slot two. I don't really know. But I feel like if we got like a bonded parent child leader who could be a floater, maybe like fucking listen. If we got this guy, maybe a little bit better, like Dokkan Fest bonded parent child leader, like a unit similar to his kid, man, that'd be nasty. So another problem I have, basically my problem with Gohan is that all of his teams are kind of meh. Who cares? Like, what the fuck is on there? He doesn't really link well. Not a proper team yet. Not a I think not a proper team yet. Again, not really like there's some pieces there, but you can't quite put them all together. And also having like Kid Bulma and Kid Goku, but then having Kid going like the units aren't really. Then Mana Master Disciple, which I think is fine, but I feel like if I had this guy because they have Gaze of Respect, Legendary Power, I'm assuming First Battle, it doesn't really matter. I mean, they have fucking the two links that you need: Gaze of Respect, Legendary Power. Gaze of Respect is fucking nasty. So that's the other thing, right? So I can't. I guess for me, the Bond and Master Disciple team doesn't work because his best friend is that Goku, and really, there's not a lot of units who you know, like you're not really running him next to anybody. This is a slot two unit as well. Like, he wants to get hit, and maybe in some situations, once he builds up a little bit, you could put him in slot one. But this guy wants to sit slot two while this guy sits slots one, right? You're not running this nigga in slot one, or this guy in slot one, or I mean, I tried this rotation out. It's a little wonky because it's like you're just getting straight attack links, but they do build key with each other, so it can work. It can work. Um, isn't this nigga Easy A? Isn't he like a nasty Easy A? Or maybe it's not out on global yet. But I'm pretty sure he has or gets like a nasty Easy A. But I'm sure maybe in time that could be a team. But my thing is the only team I run Gohan on is on Earth Breath Fighters. and I run him. I run this guy as a floater, and I just have these two K1 rotations, and this rotation is basically set because Goku's well, fuck, I already have this nigga pulled up. Goku's big links are really on the family, and that's about it, right? Same thing. He has all attack links, which doesn't matter because he builds defense and gets defense here and guards and yada 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 yada. So they get the one link that they both I think only really need, but then he hit five other attack links, and on top of that they synergize well. You let Goku slit slot one, Gohan slit slot two. So under I think with the Goku, I think when they're together, I think I can argue them being right here. I think when they're together, like that's a pretty strong rotation, and I think I can see it right there. But my problem is the team he leads. I feel like I don't what all right. I don't have that World Tournament Piccolo, so I can't comfortably run it. I guess because I don't have really a unit I want to link him up with. I guess once again you could try out some shit like this. I tried the Beast Gohan. It was weird because it's just I don't know. It's like wonky, right? Because he's gonna super attack, but then once he gets that, then you got to sit him in slot one. But if the ball super attacks, turn one slot one, not really doing. It's a whole thing, right? So, and another problem is that his best partner is a unit that also just came on the same celebration. His money partner is money, right? It's like these guys have a killer link set. So, even when units get old, they still link well. Or, the gods link well with this guy, right? Which I think they came out, they came out in the same year. So, same difference. But the point I'm making is his best partner and the guy who really lets him shine, they came out at the same time. So, if you're not lucky enough to get let's say you have Gohan. If you're not lucky enough to get Goku, I feel like you're severely missing out on a lot of potential that he has because he really, really shines when Goku has like 600k plus guard, eating whatever comes in slot one, and in slot two, he might, fucking double or triple super depending on how the attacks went. And he was fucking has 30% damage reduction after doing an ultra super attack or unit super attack. Like that's disgusting. Also, he's greatly stacking attack, so that when he does his fucking active skill, it just dicks the opponent down, and it's an AOE, and he also stacks defense, which is nasty, and it's an AOE, which isn't I guess you could say that much of a deal, but to me, I think it's like it because why not, right? Like it's an AOE, like you hit more people, and we've seen them put red zone stage, even with the red zone game. It's like the final stage is two people, so we've seen them do red zone stages, or maybe in some difficult content. If you could get like I don't know, maybe like fucking Goku's family, right? Well, that's already I don't know. Maybe like the Earth Bear Fighters Super Battle Rule. You get him next to Goku, and he just does the AOE and just kills him, right? Whatever. I'm trying to see if there's anything else I want to hit on this video. His active skill is nasty. I mean, can be activated 50% or less. That's pretty easy. And you're stacking attack, so by the time you get to this turn, you just drop dick on them and wipe them out. I also say too, I think a big benefit is that these two as a rotation, they aren't killing the fucking balls quickly. What I've realized running these two together is that I'm getting so much more time to stall. Like a lot of like, let's say before I did fights and they ended, turn 9, not even turn 9, like turn 8, turn 7, turn 9, right? Now I'm starting to get to like turn 10, turn 14, like long ass turns, which only benefits me because then they end up with like 800 fucking K defense, and I don't even have them both link level 10 yet. I haven't link leveled in a minute. I need to start doing that, and then maybe I'll give y'all the update then on how the stats is looking. But they're stalling the fight out because Goku isn't really killing nobody, especially at 55%. He's not fucking wiping you out with insane offense. And Gohan, sure he stacks attack. I even gave mine a crit equip because I look at him as the damage dealer. I'm only running him next to Goku. So while Goku tanks, I know Gohan can tank once he gets the super attack first. And, I'm looking at him as damage dealer. I'll say this in that Sen Shinron event, being able to stall that much, Gohan can eat the normals, the AoE normals. I don't really remember. I haven't ran him in there in like a day, so I'm not like fucking memory fresh. Because I've been running my other events. I did the Gamma fight. The Gamma fight is the thing I would say is the problem is another problem is that you want that Gohan next to that Goku. So when Gohan isn't next to Goku and the rotation's fucked up, you know, it can be a problem because in the center fight you get the time to stall out and get your rotations right. I feel like because the team I'm running isn't a killer team, right? They're not wiping them out. So I'm getting that extra time to really get set up. Whereas during a meta cooler fight, you only get like 3 turns to get set up. And if Goku's fucking in the last slot, but Gohan I got turn 2, it could be really like fucked up in the way it works. And that I think is one of his downfalls because in my eyes you want to run them two together. Like I'm gonna keep pushing that point home. And they're both premium summonable units that both came out at the same time who are both about to go away, right? So it's a problem. But if you get them together, turn ones, Goku, whatever, they are fucking unstoppable. Um, Gohan's really good. He's a really good unit. I just think that you don't really run him on any other teams besides like Earthbred Fighters, or if Goku family, like Bardock isn't doing shit. This guy's kind of aged. You don't really want two of them, and everything else is irrelevant. I mean, these guys easy A. So maybe then they'll be the leader. Like when they easy A, I don't know. I'll see how that go. I do have them linked level 10 already, but the problem is, I mean, I don't have this guy, so maybe if I had him, I would be a lot better about it because it's like, now I get a lot more flexibility what I can do. And is Gohan under his 200%? Is he on Exploring Rage? No, I know he's not on Power, which that's another thing too. I don't think Gohan has a lot of 200% leads. He has his own. He's not on Goku's Earthbred Fighters. I don't know if he's on this. He's not on that. And it's like, do these other teams really matter? Like, he's not on. He's not on Bardock's or the Super Saiyan Goku Gohan. I don't think they have a 200% lead yet. They. I don't think he's fucking on Bond of Friendship. No, he's not. So besides his own leader skill, I don't think he has a 200% lead yet. I mean, who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? Is he on Gohan's? He's on Gohan's. He's on Gohan's, and he's on his own, which to me right now don't really matter. So to me, he doesn't have a true 200% yet, which is kind of invalid because like if I had Piccolo, then I'd feel a little more comfortable running this team. Even though there'd be a second Gohan, but I feel like the second Gohan can float. As long as like, what I'm saying? Like I feel like the second Gohan can float. Maybe I'll try that setup. Maybe I'll try like 2 Gohans floating and see how that works. But the thing is, it's not like his link set is so nasty where he's getting, the shit that he wants, right? You want all in the family, you want gaze of respect, right? You're not really getting that floating, right? There's not every unit fucking has that, right? So I feel like with Gohan, his only team is Earthbred Fighters, from my experience. And you run them on Earthbred Fighters next to Goku, and they're probably both Z tier, right? And them being able to stall the event, I've seen these guys get hired so high fucking attack stats. It's fucking unbelievable because they're just stalling. And they're stalling out their defense, stalling out the attack. And, he stalls out his attack, and it's only gonna get worse when he gets that active skill up, and he just drops a fucking bomb on you. And mind you, that he's probably like double super in that turn, and he's super effective against all types, and you're stacking attack. So it builds on each other. So I think Gohan is good. In my overall 55, I don't think he's a top 55% unit. I think he's right here in this S club, like right before there. I just think there's a couple problems I have with him that will restrict him from here. Because everybody up here, I feel like has a good team and a good kit and could kind of do well in any situation, right? He don't need to link with nobody. He don't really need to link with nobody. He can float. They're nasty. He can do whatever he feels like, and they're nasty, right? So Gohan's good. He's definitely good. I'd say he's definitely a top 10 unit, but only next to Goku. Not gonna say only, and also this is nasty. This is fucking disgusting. I do like him a lot. I definitely think he's a top unit. I think if we're going based off of kits, I think it would be like this, because Goku can kind of operate by himself, and also he links with them. Granted, it's fucking, where is that? It's for tackling, so you're not getting on the family, but whatever. It's fine, right? Like he's linking with top tier units. So like these guys have a slot one, these guys have a slot one, right? He's linking with other good units, and it doesn't matter. So, but I'm gonna keep it like this because of Cooler's uses and his teams. I think that's a big part to me. I mean, Goku's teams, any team Goku's on, I feel like he affects. Like that's a unit you want to run. So, I think that's it. I think I hit all the points I want to hit about Gohan. I'm a big Gohan fan. So when he was announced, I was really excited for it. I'm really happy about it. I'm glad he's here. I'm glad he's as good as he is too. Definitely, I'm glad as good as he is. I think I think Gohan needs a part like I feel like for him to be good on other teams, I feel like he like is I don't know how I want to word this. He's good for him to be good on other teams. There has to be a unit I feel like to take slot one or to stall out the fight so he can get to the level that you want him to be at. Like he doesn't come out the gates, if there's five normals, you could put him there. But if there's a super attack, you're probably dead. Like out the gate, like you want him to get some hits in first, get a little defense built up, so then you can get to that point where you're like, okay, right. I don't recall him taking Omega super attack, but other super attacks I've seen him take, he did decent. Like we lived, and I mean it's because once you get this, this condition is not hard to me, and you get 30% damage reduction on top of like 400 500k defense, and he like it, it all fucking adds up. Also, he doesn't get defense here, which kind of sucks because if this was, whew, whew, that boy would be too nasty. He'd be too nasty. But yeah, um I think that's what it is. I think this is good. I'm trying to think. Is there anything else I want to say? Um, I use this guy a lot. I'll see that. I'll put this in the video too. I've used Piccolo a lot, and I think my problem with using Piccolo at first is I looked at him as more as a floater starting off. So running him side by side with Orange Piccolo was, I guess, the problem I needed to solve. But the thing is, though, is that he's only restricted to teams that Orange Piccolo would be on. Kind of like this Gohan thing, right? Whereas, like, next to Orange Piccolo, he's fine. But, he can't throw him on any team because of the links you want to have. So, my opinions of Piccolo has changed. And also, I think to the team, that's a little different because with the Scouter being as viable as it is, having them float every so often you can show. Whereas though, if it's only him, I feel like he's a better floater as a whole. Like I would rather use him as a floater, but using him as a slot 2 unit, let Orange Piccolo hold down slot 1, that definitely works out fine too. Though I still think it's better than that Goku and Gohan. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. I'm still impartial about that. I don't know. I think they both kind of have similar problems. But that's it. Gohan's nice, but he's really, really restricted in my opinion, and you really only get one use out of him. But I think if other teams can get some options, like whatever team he's on, he's affecting, right? He's always a unit you want to pick, and yeah. Also, my opinion of Goku has changed, obviously. But I'm gonna get these guys linked, leveled up. Definitely, I'm gonna come back. I'm not going. I'm gonna come back. I probably want to come back. I might do a Super Bowl video. I've used Golden Frieza a bit, but not enough. But I think I want to. I kind of have my opinion already. But I'm not gonna say anything about that too soon. I'm trying to think, is there anything else? When the fucking kernels got caught. But yeah, I think next time I come back, I might do a video talking about these two, and then once I get them all 4 of them linked up, I'll do something talking about them all linked up as a whole, or having their best rotations or whatever it might be. But yeah, that's it. These are the 2 definitive 55% tier lists. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise, and if they do, tell them suck a fucking dick. And if you all have questions or comments or anything, you see me, I answer them all or I'll address it. And yeah, y'all niggas stay up, and I'll see y'all later.